Hey guys, it's Aquila from Lefty-Knitter podcast, and it's been a while. I say that every episode. Sorry. Not sorry. It's November 4th. I'm looking at notes once again. I'll also be looking at my tablet a lot because I can't remember details to save my life. This is episode 21, and you can find me on Ravelry as aquilladahun, and you can find me on Instagram as aquilladahun. I'll put everything down below, information on all the projects. My projects I do keep up to date. I keep lots of notes about them. And yeah, so if you have any questions, the links for my projects will be right below. So yeah, it's been a while, and we've been to the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival. Halloween happened. It was like birthdays happened. Hazel had a birthday. Michaela had a birthday. My husband's birthday's coming up. We had an anniversary, 5 years. So it's a lot going on. So, life takes over. But I'm here and I have a few things to show. I already posted just kind of a finished objects video on the braided boho poncho if you want to check that out. It's the last video that I posted, so you can see that there. I didn't do any edits, so it's kind of crazy. My kid's in and out. People are through the house. Yeah. I just wanted to get a video about it because it was like an interesting project, but not a favorite. I actually have not even worn it. So that's that. Yeah. All right, let's just jump right in to some finished objects. I really don't know how often I should show sock projects. Unless it's like a really patterned project, maybe. I don't know. These are just the Rose City rollers. I made these for my husband. So they're a little big on the blockers. Yeah. It's Knit Picks yarn. See, I'm looking at the tablet. So I did these actually on a US 1.5 with 64 stitches, which turned out to be really great for his foot. The fabric might be a little loose, but it's not too terrible. You can't I don't think you can really see through it. So yeah, this is the Knit Picks Hawaiian shirt colorway. I think it was a special reserve color, and I don't think you can get it. I don't think you can get a lot of those colors anymore when that happens. So yeah, they kind of match up a little, but the colors I think ended up going backwards. No, they didn't go backwards. They're the same direction. Look, I don't even know what I'm talking about here. But I do like the Rose City roller pattern. I just don't do the rolled cuff. I just do these are a 1x1. So there, finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 was a test knit. The pattern is now live on Ravelry, but it was for Laura Concert, who is a crocheting Whovian, and this is It's a Myrtle Kinda Day hat. She has a cowl that matches the same stitch pattern, and that one is I'm gonna butcher it. Ready? It's like a sunset, sunrise, sunburn, I think. If you go to her page, I'll link it down below. She has a cowl that matches this. I test knit this for her. I would have made it probably 1 repeat shorter because she has now modified the pattern to make it like a fitted, like a semi-slouchy, a medium slouch, and then a real slouch. So I would have probably done less repeats because it is very slouchy on my head. But it's cute. I've not known what to use this yarn for. This is Cherry Tree Hill. Is it going to focus? Yeah, it's focusing. Okay. And it's the Super Sock Select 100% superwash. The color is Silver Streak. And I've not known what to use this for. Oh, look, and I don't know how I did this. Look at this crazy loop. I must not have pulled my yarn through, so I'm going to tuck that in. It's not a dropped stitch. I somehow didn't pull my purl tight enough. Oops. But that's fixable, and I didn't weave the ends in on this yet either. So, yeah, and this was US size 2.5 needle. I love hats. They're so quick. So when she said she needed testers, I was like, me. I like doing hats, and because of how fast they are. This yarn turned out really cool in this pattern with the little pulling pieces. I love that on the little bumps. Looks really cool. So there's number 2. Okay, number 3, crazy hair from the hat. Crazy hair in general, just a mess. Number 3 is the In the Light shawl by Day-Crosier, and I fell in love with this shawl after I seen a few podcasters making it, and I was so excited when Chevis and Lacey from Knitted Cupcake decided to do a knit along for this. I jumped right on that bandwagon and pulled out a bunch of yarns. I actually didn't cast on I think I was like 2 weeks into the knit along and I finally cast on. And I was very upset at first by my color choices because I felt like color 1 and 2 didn't blended too well and you couldn't tell the difference. But I feel like you can actually really see color 1 and color 2 much better now that it's all done. It is a very long shawl. Many people have seen this. It's 3 colors. You hold fingering weight double throughout the whole shawl. So you're holding color 1 double, and then you're holding color 1 and 2, and you're holding color 2 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and then 3 and 3. And it has this applied edging on the end, and you drop a bunch of stitches in these really fancy ways, and you get this awesome fringe. And I really, really love it. Now, I did a small video in my Insta stories about this because I honestly don't really block garter shawls because it just makes them grow a lot more, and this didn't need to grow anymore. So of course your color 1 is going to be knit the longest. So these stitches, when they all got dropped, were very, very, very crinkly from like being knit and being knit for being like the first thing knit. Like when I dropped all these stitches at the end, I didn't have to do much of anything because they were pretty straight. Because once you're at the end, you drop them, they haven't been sitting in knitted status for weeks or months or however long it takes you to do the shawl. Days. I mean, some people got like these shawls done in like a week. It was amazing. So I did a small Insta story about taking my iron on the steam setting, and I just went over it with the steam setting, and then I kind of just did this with, after I steamed them, I just pulled them with my hand on the ironing board, and it turned out really, really well. Let me go over my colors. This is knit with US size 8, so it's really quick since you're holding 2 double. My colors are all behind you. So first color was on the round, signature sock, and this was speckled time travelers. Sorry, I just kind of have it shoved in there. The cakes looked so nice. So speckled time travelers. Color 2 is Lolo Did It on the everyday sock, and this is one of her Walking Dead colorways. This is I Love Daryl. And color 3, I've had this in my yarn stash for quite some time. It's Space Cadet yarn. And I really loved the color. I didn't know what to use it on. And I just finally, I thought they looked great together. And this was color, it was exclusive, ready? Spring 2013. And it's called Seahorses. So 2013, guys, 5 years. So there was my 3 colors. I thought they looked really great. I actually want to make another one. Now this, you can make it fringe or fringeless. So you don't have to have fringe. But I think the color combinations are so endless because I want to make one where it goes from like hot pink to purple to like neon green or something just wild and crazy, and see how they blend together but using that technique. I just think it would be really cool. So I don't think this will be the last time I make this shawl. Usually I don't make a lot of shawls more than once. I have actually made one certain shawl 3 times, but I made it for Christmas presents. and it had bobbles. I can't believe I did that one more than one time. It was a lot. So this one, yes, I think I would do it again. And I love having all these extra colors. I think I might do some color work hat, maybe with a black base, and do the color work in these colors because they look really cool together. So there was another finished object. So my last finished object, I love this. I had seen it way, way back when Christy Glass had done videos and she wore this. But then she did like one of her finished object videos for this sweater, like I think almost a year or even more than that later, and everybody like was like, whoa, what is that pattern? But I knew and had this in my queue for a while because I knew I wanted to make it. And so I did lots of modifications for this. I'll try to explain a little bit of what I did because it's free, so I'm not giving anything away. It is the Granny Raglan Pullover by Mary Lynn Patrick. And I modified it to hopefully fit my toddler. It's a little big, but that's okay. Yeah. So it's crochet, and it's knit, and it's reversible, so you can wear the crochet on the back if you really wanted to. Now, my modifications were... Let me just read from my tablet because it's a little easier to do this. I used a smaller hook than what it called for. It calls for an I, and I used a G, so EFGHI. I went 2 letter sizes down, which was exactly a millimeter down because it was 5.5 millimeters to 4.5 millimeters. So I followed that through when I used the knitting needle sizes. I also went down a millimeter size from what it called for, hoping that this would make it toddler size, which, like I said, it does. And there's a picture on my Instagram page and on my Ravelry page of her wearing it. The sleeve's a little bulky, but it's gonna be perfect probably for next winter. So you cast on the front first, and there's lots of people who made notes and was very upset about certain parts of this. So first you do your square. And in my opinion, it was not the greatest written pattern. It's by Lion Brand, I believe. I feel like they have like these weird instructions for this part because once you finish this gray square, you're only doing this pink down and around like a U shape, and then all the colors after that you're doing a U shape. And at the top, you're doing single parts of it, single rows of the color, and you're decreasing. And then when that's all done, you take your main body color and you go around it with a certain stitch, and it stopped. Like you start up here and it went all the way down, but it stopped like here. So I actually continued what it did on this side, and across the top. So it had a border of the cream color all the way around. Then, after you do that, you crochet a little bit around the sides with your main body color. Then you pick up and do your knit stitches. So a lot of people were frustrated because it's a pieced sweater, and when you start the back, it tells you just to start the body and knit up to so far and then do your decreases, and then you pick up the ribbing at the end. Lots of people were doing the ribbing first and then knitting the body.
Stupid people, knitting first.
Ribbing first.
That's what I said.
The same thing with the sleeves. They tell you to do the same thing. You start here and then knit, and it's a flat panel piece, and then you pick up your ribbing. He's stealing candy from our toddler for Halloween bucket. Okay, so the modifications I did there was I just added some stripes to mimic the same colors here. To make it work, I measured... They tell you to knit the body, and then when you line it up with your front piece to see where you start decreasing for the back also. So I did that. That was not the problem. The sleeves were where the problem was, because I had to figure out the percentage of the finished measurements versus the measurements I was getting, and I took the percentage of that to make the sleeve measurements work. So when it tells, when you're working on the sleeve and you're knitting up to so far before you start doing increase stuff, or decrease, because it would be like flat decreases, I would have been knitting like, it tells you to knit like 7 inches or something crazy. But because I was sizing it down, I took the percentage size down and found out how many rows I was getting, and then it was only like 3 inches that I did here before I started my decreases. So if you are modifying it, you have to take into account, you can't follow how many inches they're saying to knit for before you decrease, because it will be way too long for the body. Like, you'll have like monkey arm sleeves. I really love it. Piecing it together, they also didn't give great instructions for piecing it together. I had to do a little bit of both of what it said, because they tell you to slip stitch all the seams together. I didn't want to slip stitch all the seams together. I mattress stitched my sleeves together, and mattress stitching is like magic. I mean, my lines don't match up exactly, but it is pretty amazing. I also mattress stitched where I could, like here on the back raglan, and I mattress stitched down the body here, because yeah, I did. The only place that I couldn't get the mattress stitch to work correctly was on these connecting the sleeve to the front panel, because it was a line of crochet and a line of knit stitches. So I did kind of mattress stitch on, like you did the same technique for mattress stitch on this side, and then I just picked up between each crochet cluster, I think is what the correct terminology is, so you can kind of see how I picked up there. Kind of, I don't know. You gotta just make it work for how you are comfortable seaming. I've not done a lot of pieced seaming before, so this is the first time I've actually done mattress stitch. I just really love this. So because I was testing this to see if I liked the pattern, to make one for myself, I did use a bunch of random yarns. I don't even know, I think it calls for, I don't remember what weight, but I used a lot of just worsted weight yarns, and most of them are just scraps of, see, I don't even have a label for this one, but it is a Lion brand woolies. I can tell what it was, so you can see this one was a Patton's. This one is Havana's. So I have a mix. This is also Havana's color. This was, I'm not sure which one this was. This may have been a baby yarn. Like, they're all mostly acrylic. I mean, some of these are wool. I think this one is actually 100% wool in this one. So I had a bunch of this color to make a blanket at some point, and I've not made that blanket. So I decided to use it for this. And I think if I make one for myself, I'm going to be doing the same thing using scraps that I have. And I have a lot of this color, and I really think it works well in this sweater to make the body of it that color. And this is just Woolies by Lion brand. I have no shame in using acrylic yarn and box store yarn for certain things. No shame at all. I mean, how cute is this? It's adorable. Go to my Instagram page or my Ravelry page and you can see my daughter in one picture that I caught where she's not moving and it's not blurry. my husband back again.
I bought a sweet jacket. I thought you guys might want to see it.
And you got it on a good deal.
We're not going to talk about that.
It was good.
It was a good deal.
It was a good deal.
It was a good deal.
Yeah.
I got a sweet jacket. I don't know if I look like a retiree on a Goldwing or if I look kind of hip. Maybe
you guys
let me
decide.
know in the comments because I know every single kids video that we watch, all they do is say,
leave a thing in the comments.
do that thing.
Do you think they're going to eat cookies or ice cream?
But in this situation, you could be like, cool guy, douchebag. I won't get my feelings hurt.
Okay. Oh boy. Again, wasn't sure if I was going to show socks to you guys, but I have one done without the heel cut in.
I have to put my shoes on.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Oh, they're going to the park
Yes,
now.
you do.
She has to get her shoes on. But yeah, socks. This is also Knit Picks yarn. Yeah, baby. You want to say hi? Come here. Or not.
You want to go say hi on Mommy's video?
Knit Picks Felici. Dance party. This was one of the last colorways out. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Where are you going?
I'm going to the park.
You're going to the park? Yeah. That's cool. What are you going to do?
Have so much fun.
Have so much fun. Good. I'm glad. I love you. Say
I
bye.
love you too.
Aw.
Bye.
All right, go get Daddy. Get your shoes. So I'm going to do an afterthought cut-in heel on these. I left enough yarn. Well, there's more than plenty to do a heel. Yeah. That's about it. I have the second one started. These have been on my needles forever since when I went to Boston, and that was August. Long time. Yeah, so I have the cuff done, and these are kind of like car knitting, work knitting, etc. They'll get done eventually. Yeah, motivation. And the last whip I have to show, I started in July. I was so excited to start it, and then I got to a point in the sweater where I needed to order yarn. I ordered the yarn. The yarn was like back ordered because they weren't getting their shipments from the mill they were supposed to get them from. So the yarn was like back ordered, and I was like, oh man, well, when am I gonna get the main color? And it took me a while to actually pick the main color. I finally picked it. It's all good. And now I'm just working on the body, which is just straight stockinette, lots of stockinette. It is the Camaro sweater by Tanis. I know it, I'm not, Lavallee. I'm just gonna say it's Lavallee. And I love this sweater so much, and I've wanted to cast on it I got so excited. I had all kinds of colors picked out. I did all kinds of Insta stories about it. I finished all the color work of the sweater, which is all the top. And then I just was like stuck in waiting land forever. So let me hold it up. I tried it on. I didn't take pictures because it was like, I was so tired, and I just was like, I really need to see if this actually fits. So there's my main body color, and I am loving that green. And not Stephanie from the Knit Girls. Why can't I think of her sister's name? This is Rebecca. No, it was Stephanie. Yes, Stephanie from the Knit Girl. The Knit Girls. Oh my God, I can't freaking talk today. The Mean Girls podcast. She also did a sweater in this color, and when she showed the sweater, I was just like, oh my God, I made such a great choice. This is Blue Moon Fiber Arts, and it's Oscar's Grouchy Green, and these are the DK Cake yarns, and it's like 700, it's ridiculous. It's like 700 yards. $765, and I think you pay like $35 That's a lot of yarn, a lot of DK weight yarn for the price. And that is why I went with Blue Moon Fiber Arts. Here's their label so you can see. And I'm not upset with them. It wasn't their fault. It was the mill that they get their yarn from. It was not something they could control. I have all the yarns listed in my project. I will probably screw them up if I try. This is Marigold Jen. This is Ridiculous Yarns. This is Lolo Did It. This is Yarn Hero. This is Backyard Fiber Works. This is Turtle Made. And this is Neighborhood Fiber Company. I also, because it calls for a DK weight, I don't have enough DK weight because I hardly ever buy DK weight yarn. I'm holding lots of these colors double. This one's double, this one's held double, this one's held double, this one's held double. The only the three that are true DK is this one, and this one. All the others are held two together, and I'm really glad I made that decision to use some yarn out of my stash. It looks amazing, and I'm super excited about it, and yeah, so I think I have like 4 more inches to go, and then it's a split ribbed hem because I am doing the long version, not the cropped version. Cropped stuff does not look good on me. I'm so excited about this. I love it. Yeah. It's so beautiful. I can't even. And I love this little center stitch detail. If you see what I'm talking about. I haven't read far enough in the pattern how to deal with this rolled hem. I don't know if you just pick up and do a single crochet or something maybe. I don't think I'll be doing that. I think I do want to pick it up and do a ribbed neckline. I think that's what I want. Oh my god, look at that green. It's amazing. I love it. Okay, and that is everything. I'm not going into acquisitions. I bought some stuff at the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival. I did buy some things. We were there for, Hazel and I actually left, and we were there Thursday. We got there Thursday, or yeah. If I say Thursday one more time. So they had a crank-in on Friday night, so we went and saw the circular sock machines, and I want to apologize once again because my child, she was not like sick. She is definitely got something going on that she's always been, this is terrible, she's always been a vomiter when she's like a little bit congested. She totally vomited there. Yeah. And when we were out to dinner the night before and it was just her and I'm so grateful for the women, the waitresses that helped me at Cracker Barrel because it was just her and I. We finished dinner. She had some ice cream and we're sitting there and she had a coughing spell. Like, just coughing. And totally vomited all over the table. I caught most of it in my hands. Yeah, the things you do as a mom or a parent, my husband would have vomited too. Luckily, he wasn't there. I am just so grateful for those waitresses. So yeah, we had a great time though. We went to this amazing museum. Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival is in Berryville, Virginia. So we stayed in Winchester, Virginia, which was not far. It was like maybe a 15-minute drive. I highly recommend going, if you have small children, to the Discovery Museum. I don't remember the exact same name of it. It might just be the Shenandoah Valley Discovery Museum. I'll put a link. Most awesome museum. Hazel and I were there for probably 4, maybe 5 hours. We're never in a museum that long usually with her, and it doesn't seem like it's that big, but once you're in there, there's so much to do, and I had so much fun, and it was a rainy day, and there was no one in there. We had the place practically to ourselves. There might have been 10 other families, maybe, that came in. So it was super amazing. She had such a good time. It is also Winchester is the home of Patsy Cline, where she grew up. You can actually go see the house that she grew up in. We wanted to go do that, but it was not open. It was not open yet, and we were trying to get home on Sunday, and it didn't open till like 2 in the afternoon. So we skipped that. We went and took pictures though, and we were the creepers looking in the window. And so we saw that she was actually buried at the cemetery about 2 miles down the road. So we decided to go, and we found her gravestone, and we remembered her for being this amazing singer. And there's a huge bell tower that you can visit that was put up by friends and family that's dedicated to her, and it chimes hymns. I don't know if it's every hour or there's a certain time and it chimes hymns, and it would have been amazing to be there for that. So definitely was a cool little town, had a cool little area in downtown Winchester that was lots of shops, and they have it all closed off so nobody can drive down that street where all the shops and the restaurants are. And we had such a good time. And we also went to, there was a family owned zoo, which was also really amazing for a really good price. Hazel and I had such a great time, and we could feed so many animals, and so many animals that we would have not fed really at any other zoo. And feeding the deer was really neat. I had to keep the head of the grouping of deers. He was very, dominant and aggressive. So I kept feeding him, and Hazel had a whole pack of other deer that were all one to eat from her, and it was super cute. So yeah. So you can find me on Ravelry, like I said. On Instagram is where I'm most active, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep on knitting. I want this sweater done. I have other projects, like a blanket. I have 2 blankets really that I'm working on, and I really want to cast on some hats for winter. That's my plan. Yeah. So while I'm losing light because daylight savings happened today, yeah, I'm going to end it here. So knit happy, everybody. And yeah, that's it. Knit happy, because that's my ending. See ya.